by Castle Hill Cider and the fine folks at the Daily Progress. Folks, it's going to be just an epicenter of family fun and activity. I'm super pumped for this. And you know what? I'm super pumped for Rob Campbell in the house. I'm super pumped for Eric Mayberry in the house. I'm super pumped for Millie Weinstead in the house. Winstead in the house. She's the Director of Development at Blue Ridge Area Food Bank. Just an all-around great person. This is what, your 5th time, I believe?
Yeah, I'm going to start setting up shop over here.
Anytime you want.
All right.
Anytime you want, especially since we got everything fine and dandy with the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank page. You can set up anytime you want, now that we have that. A lot we're going to also cover, guys, after the interview. As our friends at the Daily Progress were the first to report, Bodo's Bagels on the UVA corner looking to unionize. We'll talk about that post-interview today. I think that could have, big-time potential wrinkles, potentially influencing a lot of other teams in Central Virginia. We'll discuss that on today's program. We'll also talk inflation remaining near a 40-year high. The Charlottesville area median income is now $111,200. That topic on today's show. ARM loans, adjustable rate mortgages surged to a 14-year high. And gas prices, just really a pain in the pocket right now. So a lot we're going to cover on today's program. Judah, we can rock and roll when you're ready, sir.
Why not, sir?
Guys, good Wednesday afternoon. I'm Jerry Miller, and welcome to the I Love CVille show. Thank you kindly for joining us. We are live in Charlottesville, Albemarle County, across Central Virginia, the Commonwealth, the country, and the world, right here on the I Love CVille network. And I love connecting with you guys through this platform. We're live on every social platform known to mankind, and a lot we got to cover today. So we're going to start with an interview. We'll welcome our guests in about 30 seconds to the show. We're going to highlight the 231 Fest. It's presented by Castle Hill Cider, and it's just an opportunity on Sunday for you to spend such great quality time with friends and family to benefit the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank. I mean, what better thing to do than live music, some spirits, supporting local artisans, food trucks, and doing it while supporting the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank. MJ, Rob, and the team at Castle Hill have just done a heck of a job putting this event on. We'll put it in perspective today on the show. We're also going to highlight today, after the interview, what I find to be somewhat a startling, maybe shocking statistic. The CVille area median income now over $111,000. Ay mi madre. That really puts things in perspective of why you should support the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank. $111,000, guys. As the Daily Progress first reported, we will also chat Bodo's on the UVA corner, their staff looking to unionize. That's big time. I'm curious to see how that will ripple or also influence other staffs in this unionization pursuit. We know small businesses are really being impacted by cost of goods, by supply chain, and labor shortages. So this is another dynamic that's going to impact the mom and pops that we love to support in our community. We'll talk inflation, adjustable rate mortgages, and gas prices surging on today's show. We thank our friends at Skooma Boutique Dispensary, locations on the downtown mall and on Elliewood Avenue, for being a part of the show. More locations we can't wait to announce coming for Skooma Boutique Dispensary, a locally owned business, and our friends at Greenberry's Coffee. Judah, our director, can you put on screen how our viewers and listeners all over the world can win free coffee for a year courtesy of Greenberry's Coffee? Enter.greenberries.com if you want free coffee, and who doesn't want free coffee for an entire year? So, without further ado, I'd love to welcome, with the studio camera first, J-Dubs, some fantastic people to the I Love CVille show. Rob Campbell, who's becoming a friend. Billy Winstead, who is just an all-around person. a smile that brightens up any room, and Eric Mayberry, a sharply dressed an individual as I have ever seen. Look at the bling on the finger right there. Mayberry is flossing right now. Let's get to it, guys. First, good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon.
Thanks so much for having us.
An absolute pleasure, and I think by now everyone in this community knows you guys. But for those that don't, Millie, ladies first, introduce yourself to everybody that's watching the program.
Well, thank you so much. So I am Millie Winstead. I am the Director of Development and Community Engagement with the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank, which means I have the great honor of representing the food bank and spreading our message, hopefully to inspire people to get involved with this.
Fantastic, fantastic. We're going to talk about Blue Ridge Area Food Bank, put your efforts in perspective before we do. Rob, the show's yours, baby.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Rob Campbell, I'm with Castle Hill Cider. I'm the general manager out there, and we're just so happy to be here today to promote such an amazing event.
He has a great job. He gets to taste various kinds of delicious cider and run a phenomenal business in a palatial and beautiful setting. My God, could I come work for
I
you?
know.
Anytime you want to, you can come help bottle.
Good Lord, I love Castle Hill. Now, Eric, the show is yours. President of Daily Progress. Put that
Yes.
perspective in you, please.
Yeah, I mean, I've been here since August. I've been in the position for about a year, and it's funny, the first thing that people told me when I got here was that I needed to meet you and be on your show.
Oh, get out.
It only took, a half a year for you to get me here, but no, I'm glad to be here. It's a great town. I'm glad to be the president of the Daily Progress, and this is a phenomenal partnership, and we're really excited to be a part of it.
I'm seeing a lot of Gary, Indiana on our heat map. I have a feeling that might be Eric's influence
I was
right now.
born and raised in Gary, Indiana.
We don't have often a lot of Gary, Indiana viewers, so Mayberry is bringing it for us, baby. I love it. I love it. All right, let's put in perspective the 231 Fest. Rob and Eric. Eric, why don't we go here? Why partner with the 231 Fest in Castle Hill?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, food insecurity is a big problem in our community. And one of the things that we're focused on at the Daily Progress over the course of the next 3 years is food insecurity. And so had a conversation with the Blue Ridge Area Food Group. We talked about doing some things with them in a partnership. And then I get introduced to Rob, and he invited me out on a great Friday. It was warm, and he put some cider in front of me, and we thought, man, we need to work together, right? And so again, our opportunity to help people in this region, help people who are suffering from food insecurity is real. I grew up in a house where my mother raised me, and there were times I opened the refrigerator, and the only thing in the refrigerator was the box of baking soda, I guess, to keep it fresh. And so it was something that I experienced as a child, and so I understand how critically important this is.
Fantastic. Rob, this festival, 231, I mean, you got Castle Hill, we got Chestnut Oak, we got Keswick, we got Patch, we got Mary Mill, we got Champion. Good night, my friend.
Yes.
You guys are crushing it here.
Yeah, so we're starting to really expand the list of offerings on that side of town. So we wanted to kind of highlight some of the great things that we're doing out there. And I was wondering, as I kind of prep for this interview, I was a little bit nervous, and I usually don't get nervous for these things. And so
did you have some cider?
I didn't have some. I wanted to. I forgot the cider today. I apologize. But no, I think the reason why is because I'm passionate about what we're doing, and so. We get to highlight some of the great things that we're doing on that side of town, as well as support such an amazing cause. And I'm glad that Eric really defined what food insecurity means, because a lot of time we use that as a buzzword, or we use it as a catchphrase for it all, but we don't really think about what that means. And when you really break it down and you think how lucky you are to do what you do. I mean, I do get to work at a beautiful place. I don't have to worry about where my next meal is coming from. I work hard at what I do, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that are working hard that still have to worry about the next meal that's coming to them. And so that's why I was nervous today, because it's something that means so much to me. And not that the business doesn't mean anything to me. It means a lot to me. But I mean, this is something that I can really dig into and actually support. And it just makes it all worthwhile.
So it's conscious capitalism. It's an
is.
opportunity
That's
to enjoy a festival for the betterment of the community with the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank as the benefactor. Millie, this is awesome.
It is awesome. I'm listening to Rob. I'm getting goosebumps because both Rob and Eric have really put this in perspective, what this means. The Blue Ridge Area Food Bank is a community food bank. Mm-hmm. We depend upon our community to support us in this work, to help members in our community. And what I loved about this whole idea when Rob started sharing the idea behind the 231 Fest is that it is celebrating the Keswick community and all the amazing things that are happening out there, but then to benefit the greater community. And with Eric's help, to bring the attention to that is crucial. I mean, we can't do it alone. We know we're better and stronger when we stand together.
I love it. Can you put food insecurity in perspective for us? And can you put in perspective the vast reach and foundation the food bank provides for this community?
Yeah. So, I was listening to you about what you're going to be speaking about here shortly, and just one thing after the other resonates with what the food bank is dealing with what our guests are dealing with. So the food bank, for those that may not know, we do cover 25 counties and 8 cities. We basically straddle the Blue Ridge Mountains from north to south within central and western Virginia. So across that area, we are seeing needs. They've grown over the last 2.5 years, as you might suspect, over the pandemic, and they've receded somewhat, but not to pre-pandemic levels, because we're seeing increase in cost. Whether it's gas, food, you name it. And then, it's interesting to think that the median income is 111. Well, that's a median. That's definitely not the case for a lot of people. And they go to their refrigerator, and maybe the only thing that is there is the baking soda. So the food bank and our partners, we work with over 200 partner agencies across this whole area to get food to where it needs to be. I'll give you an example. The need is vast and deep, and it has no boundaries, whether it be age or ethnic, racial, whatever those boundaries may be for somebody. Hunger has no boundaries. So one of the programs that we run is called a Good Food School Market. There's a stigma with hunger, and it really permeates in children, not the youngest children, but high school, when you're already dealing with, everything else going on in your lives. But we saw this, that we have high numbers of children that are accessing our backpack program, but once they got into middle and high school, those numbers dropped, but the incomes and those children didn't go away and their incomes didn't change. So we developed what we call the Good Food School Market. It is basically a produce market that is set up. We have been running it in the Harrisonburg area right now, planning on expanding it beyond. A couple weeks ago, we were holding this market, and it is open, again, to help diminish the stigma with it. It's not just to the students, it's for teachers, it's for others working within the school community. And so we happen to get a chance to talk to teachers, counselors, students, bus drivers that were there to help. We met a bus driver who had been working many, many years, she and her husband, well into their 60s, into retirement age, but they're still working to make ends meet, and she shared with us that this made the difference for her. Having this food made the difference not only for her and her family, but she would take it home and she would make meals, freeze them to give to other people that she knew was in need. Wow. Counselors were sharing with us stories that many of the students that were coming to this, they knew those students were going to be, because their parents were working 2 or more jobs to try and keep the lights on and the heat on and the gas in the car and everything else, those students were responsible for making meals for their families. So they were picking up food that they knew they were going to be making tonight's meal with.
That's crazy.
And so that it crosses all barriers, and it's anyone. And that's what we do here at the Food Bank. We welcome anybody without question.
Truly, truly a valuable resource. We'll highlight some of the viewers and listeners on the show. John Blair watching in Stanton. We got a counselor, city councilor in Charlottesville, one board of supervisor in Albemarle County. I see the NBC 29 newsroom watching the program as we speak. The I Love CVille network here, powered by Ting Crazy Fast Internet. Ting Crazy Fast Internet, the power behind the I Love CVille network. Eric, we'll get you in the mix You come to Charlottesville, did you say 6 months?
Yeah, I've been in town since the 1st of August, yeah.
What's been the feel for Charlottesville when you came here? What do you think of the community? What struck you? What surprised you?
Yeah, look, I love Charlottesville, and I moved here from the Midwest. I was in Omaha for a while, but prior to that, I lived in Philadelphia, and so being back on the East Coast, kind of east, southeast, I guess, is great. The people are fantastic. The one thing I noticed when I got here is that everybody says hello here, right?
Yeah.
When I'm walking my dog, people say hello in the morning. When I was in Omaha, they kind of put their head down and kept going forward, but so everyone has been very welcoming, and I think the business community has been phenomenal. And for us, I think to those who much is given, much is expected. And one of the things that, journalism is supposed to do is be the fourth estate and protect society. And so one of the things that we're doing is digging in and trying to make sure that the Daily Progress is a big part of that. And so, again, partnerships like this gives us the opportunity to give back and help the community. So we didn't mention this, we probably should, but we have sponsors that are a part of this process, and we'll list the sponsors in a second, but the part of the proceeds will go to the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank, and we're estimating a really decent number.
Yeah,
So
we'll have an announcement, I think, right?
yeah, if we're lucky, we'll be able to provide tens of thousands of meals to people, and that's really what it's all about. And so being here in the market, making my rounds and meeting people like yourself in this group, it's been absolutely fantastic.
I want to champion journalism. My background, as a lot of people know, is as a print newspaper man, syndicated radio and television host, and journalism is the watchdog for our community. Mm-hmm. It holds folks accountable and it keeps them honest.
Yes.
What the Daily Progress is doing is incredible, and the amount of news that is published on a daily basis by our daily paper of record should be championed and cherished, because I've done it. It ain't easy, and finding a story with a byline that you need to put out every day is no easy task. Mm-hmm. So Newsroom at the DP and NBC 29, CBS 19, CVille Weekly, Charlottesville Tomorrow, you guys are crushing it.
Yep, appreciate it.
Rob, we will
Amen.
get you in the mix. And as Eric highlighted, why don't we think about some of the partners
Yeah.
of the 231 Fest?
Yeah, so one that just stepped up was the Hop On Tour.
Yes.
They're actually going to provide free rides from X Park out to Castle Hill. There'll be 2 shuttles, one at 10:30 in the morning for our VIP guests, and then one at 11:30 for our general admission guests. And then they'll be coming back around 4 o'clock, 4 for one shuttle and 5 for the other. But they definitely stepped up. They're the owners of Patch Brewery as
Sure.
well. So we're
Andre Xavier's watching right now.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, so
The owner of CVille Hop On
Yeah.
Tours and Patch, he's watching
Yeah,
you.
Nice.
yeah. Thank you very much, Andre, for the generous donation. So you'll actually be able to find that on CastleHillCider.com. There'll be a link on there to sign up for the Hop On Tour. We also have Malloy Ford. Mm-hmm. We have Giant.
Yeah.
The Our Lady of Peace. We have Origin Wealth. Blue, if I miss anyone, Bank of the James.
Bank of the James.
And we have the Daily Progress.
Marjorie Adam team.
And I believe that's a big part of our. Did I miss one?
No.
I think that's it.
You got 'em all.
I think we got
I
them.
got them all.
Woohoo!
But
Good job.
it was amazing to me to see how people stepped up for this, and everyone was willing to either donate their time or donate their resources or donate their money to us to make this event happen. So the way the community came together is definitely what we're trying to promote. So both from supporting the Blue Ridge as well as supporting the community out on 231 is everything to us. So it's about neighbors, it's about supporting each other, and this is
Exactly.
it makes you feel good when people go out of their way to help their fellow man. So,
The 231 Fest is a microcosm of what makes this community great. I mean, an absolute
Absolutely.
microcosm.
Yes.
We have an event at a palatial, beautiful place.
Beautiful.
To benefit a nonprofit, partners with the daily newspaper of record, the Daily
Yes.
Progress. I mean, you got a grocery store, an automotive group, you got a realtor team,
That's right.
you got a bank. I mean, this is what makes this community so awesome. Danny O'Day, hello. Andre Xavier says, thank you guys. We are honored to be a part of this incredible event. Route 231 is becoming an amazing destination.
Yes.
How about this question that's coming in from Short Pump? How do we buy tickets, and can we buy tickets day of? This is from Kelsey, who's watching on the west side of Richmond. So CastleHillCider.com /231 if you want to buy tickets online. We very much encourage you to do so. Rob, tickets purchase day of, can we do that?
You can. It just depends on if we sell out before the weekend.
Are we close?
We're getting there. We're probably about halfway to where I want to be. So
Okay.
the trajectory is definitely increased this week. So I think that will be a lot closer to our goal as we get as we hit like Friday, Saturday, especially as the weather holds up. I mean, that's a big piece of it.
Fingers crossed.
It's supposed to be 80 degrees and sunny. Whereas last weekend was a little bit cloudy and dismal.
Wintry.
So I think everyone wants to get out. So I think that it's going to be well attended. So we will sell day of if we have extra tickets.
Okay, so Millie, when this festival's happening on Sunday, what are you going to be doing? What are you looking forward to?
I'm going to be at the festival. I'm going to be enjoying, seriously, you keep mentioning the beauty of Castle Hill. It is just such a gorgeous site. And I'm going to be out there thanking everybody. I mean, we've mentioned a lot of the breweries and cideries and wineries and our amazing sponsors that have stepped up. But there's going to be food trucks. There's going to be amazing bands. It's all over the place. So I'm just going to be going from each to, everybody to just say thank you for being a part of this, really wonderful, supportive community that we belong to.
Toughest question I'm going to ask Eric right here.
I get the toughest question.
okay.
You got Twisted Biscuit, you got Sliced Cake Bar, you got Philosopher's Stone
yeah.
Pizza, Salty Bottom
Which
Blue
one?
Oysters, Angelique's Kitchen. We like food.
All of the above.
Okay.
That was an easy question.
He handled it
That
like
was
a
a softball,
champion.
man. All of the above.
Yes, please, is what you said.
Right, exactly.
What are you looking forward to about this, Eric?
I think the camaraderie of the people coming together, and I'm a sucker for live music. So anytime there's live music, if you want to find me on any Thursday, I'm down on the mall listening to live jazz. So anytime there's live music, I'll be there. So I'm excited about that. I'm also excited, as Millie said, to interact with our sponsors. Some of our sponsors will have space there already. A piece I know is going to be there in person. So it's just the opportunity for people to get together on a Sunday and have a good time in Charlottesville. We're looking forward to it.
Can you put, so this question's coming in, Millie, can you put in the value some of these donations will have for the food bank?
Absolutely.
Great question.
It is a great question. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize, because of the size and scale of the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank, and, we use a lot of volunteers, and we've got just amazing partners out in the community. Every dollar that you donate to the food bank, we can provide enough food for 4 meals. So your donations are multiplied. Like we said, we'll see what the final numbers are, but I think we're looking at tens of thousands of meals for people in our community.
Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. So this just came in the feed. This might be best suited for Rob here. Will the Indiana Jones lookalike from the Today y Mañana show be there on the 231 Festival? That was hilarious. You're talking about the cider maker, right? Isn't that the Indiana Jones lookalike?
Yeah, so you're gonna have to get there before 3 because Don has a musical gig that night, but he'll be there until 3 o'clock. So yeah, I like that. That's a good one.
Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, I think that is fair. I think he'll love that.
I think
That's
he will
great.
love that here. Talk to us about the live music, Rob. What are you excited about?
So I'm going to take a step back and mention one other thing. We are partnering with SPCA as well, and
True.
so they'll have a puppy area. So drink a little wine, adopt a puppy. So we believe in supporting the community in all facets, and that's just another one that we're doing. In terms of bands, I'm blown away. They're all people
my
that I've
gosh.
seen in the past that. It's great for me because I get to go to work and I get to listen to Lord Nelson. I get to Judy Chops. I get to Dropping Julia as well as Matt Johnson. And so it's just, a great lineup throughout the day. And it's, it's just I think it's just going to be amazing. Even though I'll be working, it'll be kind of like one of those days where it's like the perfect balance between work-life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, I'm looking forward to it.
I want to put this in perspective. I'll throw it to Eric. My wife and I are going. We have a 4-year-old. We're going to sit with what we hope is a sunny day. I think it's going to be sunny. I speak it into fruition. I'm going to enjoy cider, maybe some Andre's beer. We're going to be on a blanket.
Yes.
We're going to have some. I've had Twisted Biscuit before, so probably Twisted Biscuit. And we're going to watch our little boy have fun with face painting. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. Eric, what excites you?
That's right. I tell you what, before I answer that question, I want your job, man.
I know, right?
I'm sitting there the whole time like,
I know.
are you kidding me?
I know.
It's pretty amazing.
It's pretty nice, yeah.
Yes.
Like, the last time I was there, I had the cider that was, I guess, aged in bourbon barrels.
Yes.
And I'm a big bourbon guy, and so I'm probably, besides everything else, most excited about having some of that cider again.
Yeah, we actually just finished bottling OG, and that's
The
what
OG.
that's what I was going to bring today, and so I forgot it. So I apologize, but on Sunday when I see you guys, I'll buy you guys a drink.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Danny Campbell, great event. Can't wait for it. He just put that on the feed. All right, and he lives in
He lives in Ocala, Florida. That's my father.
lives in Florida. Is that
Yes.
where he's living?
Yes.
So watching the program, Denny's giving you some props. That's your dad right there.
Yes, my biggest fan.
You got to mention. How about something for Dad? Now that he's watching right now, you'll make his day. Say something to Dad.
Thanks for being my biggest fan, Dad. And yes, go get a tan. That's what he does all day is tan and go to breakfast. So
Nice.
I'm very jealous of his job.
Okay, I want to.
you're just
exactly.
right.
Well, and the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree right there.
telling
You
you.
rock a tan very well over there, Rob. You're looking good, my friend.
Thank you very much.
All right, Melly, let's close with this. Explain to the community what this means to the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank and their support.
It means everything. Again, it goes back to community, and it goes back to the fact that we cannot do what we do alone. And so people and organizations such as Castle Hill and Daily Progress stepping up to link arms with us in this effort, it makes a big difference. Because yes, we need the support of the community, and then people like you, Jerry, letting us share our message, because we don't know upon whose ears this will fall. It could fall on the ears of somebody that needs our help. And so, if somebody doesn't know that these services are available, I hope today they will learn that, and it'll make a difference for them.
Great take. Eric, I'd love for you to shine some perspective on the newspaper and on the progress. I love you guys.
Yeah.
I love everything you stand for. You are leading a critically important resource for Central Virginia.
Yeah, look, I mean, we love what we do every day, and I think a society without newspapers or with news organizations is a society at risk. And we do a lot more than newspapers, and you'll see that over the course of the next 3 years or so. We have a 3-year plan to make sure that we are involved in the community and doing good things and making sure that the people stay informed. Before we go, can we mention the sponsors one more time?
Oh, please.
Okay, so
please.
we want to say a big thanks to Our Lady of Peace, Malloy Automotive Group, Giant Foods, the Bank of the James, the Daily Progress, the Marjorie Adams team, and Origin Wealth. Did I get them right?
Yes.
Big supporters of this.
Okay, Rob, Castle Hill.
So one last thing, you mentioned you're going to be bringing your kids out. So we do have Bluebird, I always get this wrong, Bluebird Book Stop.
Ooh.
So they'll be setting up a little reading area for the kids, as well as a trackless train. And also we'll have face painting and crafts area. So there'll be plenty of time for your kids to be away, and you can watch them from afar as you sip cider or beer or wine.
You had me at kids being away. I love our son.
I totally understand.
I love our son.
Yeah,
But I
exactly.
need some breathing room. Good Lord.
totally
And my
understand.
wife certainly does.
Yes.
Good night.
Yes.
Castle Hill, guys, it's Sunday, this Sunday, 12 to 5 p.m. Get the tickets at castlehillcider.com/231.
That's right.
You guys are awesome. I'm going to hold you to that OG over there.
I love it.
I'm going to hold you to that
See you
OG.
Sunday.
Thank you so much
Yes.
for joining us. It's
Thanks
great
for
to
having
meet
us.
you.
Yes.
Yep, my
Absolutely
pleasure.
great
so
to
much.
meet you. Thank you, guys. Judah, we'll go to the studio cam there, and then we'll talk some news here in a matter of moments on the I Love Seville show. I can't highlight this event enough. Thank you guys so much. CastleHillCider.com/231, a festival of just fun proportions. I mean, this is conscious capitalism or social entrepreneurship at its absolute finest. 231 Fest. A lot I want to cover today as we head back to a one-shot. Oh, Judah, you're on top of it. Thank you so much. Excuse me. So first I want to talk about data released today, which I think will startle some folks. You have take care, MJ, great to see you.
Thank you very
You got a Seville area median income that's now checking in at $111,200. $111,200 for a Seville area median income. And you know what? Why don't we do something crazy, Judah? Set up a 2-shot. You come on set, head of the table. Just walk on set, make sure the volume is up. We'll get you on there. We don't have to worry about the lower third. I know it's scrambling, because I want to get you in the mix. And then we'll just close with you heading back to to your seat. No problem. We can do it on the fly. But $111,200 for the Seville area median income. Folks, the community is not getting any more affordable. And think about the collision of factors that have happened over the last, 2 years. I mean, this is the collateral damage of the pandemic. I'm going to rattle off these factors, these KPIs, which you already know. Post-pandemic, gas prices at a record high. Literally yesterday, gas prices were at a record high for this country. You got inflation nearing a 40-year high. You got supply chain issues and labor shortages. You got a Ukrainian-Russian war. All these factors colliding at the same time that the stock market is volatile as all get out. All these factors are happening at the same time that groceries and cost of goods have never been more expensive, that housing has never been more expensive. I mean, good Lord, rent in Central Virginia, you're looking at a year-over-year uptick of 20% plus on average. Rent uptick. Let's talk cost of housing if you'd like to purchase. Try buying a home in the city of Charlottesville for under $450,000. You might find a couple. You know how much TLC you're going to have to put into it? Significant TLC. So how about taxes? And I highlight this on the program all the time. Assessments, 12% on average. 12% on average up in the city of Charlottesville. How about personal property? Let's talk cars. Explain to me why the used car market is appreciating instead of depreciating. Someone explain that. Well, supply and demand. We don't have enough used cars out there, and we have consistent demand. That's why used car values are appreciating. All these things happening at the exact same time. And it's pinching pennies, it's pain in the pocket, and it's dramatically impacting the affordability index in communities across the country, and certainly in Central Virginia. So, I bring this up to you for a number of reasons. One, supporting the food bank, you see why it's important. As this year continues, the need for food banks and for folks utilizing nonprofits that provide food for sustainability and to make it through the week is going to be more important than ever before. Okay? I also bring this up for, and I was having this conversation yesterday afternoon. How can we be pro-affordability with government, yet increase the taxes like we're seeing? I'll give it to Albemarle and their Board of Supervisors. Albemarle's Board of Supervisors lowered the personal property tax rate. They understand what was happening from a personal property and used car market and a vehicle market. So they lowered the rate to help ease that pain for citizens. Charlottesville didn't do that. Charlottesville kept the personal property tax rate the same, despite the Commissioner of Revenue begging them to do otherwise. And Charlottesville also raised the real estate tax rate. Okay? We can't be pro-affordability and raise real estate tax rates and keeping personal property tax rates the same. We can't do that at the same time that assessments are through the roof. We can't do it at the same time that inflation is at a 40-year high, that gas prices are at an all-time high. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm empathetic to these plights. Why don't you just sit there? That way it'll make it easier.
No, it's not easier.
Okay. Well, the show's about to be over.
Okay.
The last topic I want to cover on the program is Bodo's UVA corner workers looking to unionize. And this is a topic that I am torn on. I am empathetic and I sympathize and I'm open-minded to staff of businesses wanting the best benefits and pay possible. I mentioned earlier on the program that my first job out of the University of Virginia was at the Daily Progress. And I loved working there. I loved the job. I loved chasing stories. It was exhilarating. I loved seeing my byline in print the next day. And I loved connecting with people and documenting human interest or breaking news for the paper of record. One of the challenging aspects was the compensation. It was difficult to sustain my quality of life, or any quality of life, with the compensation I was earning. So I'm very sympathetic, empathetic, and can personally relate to compensation being a priority for so many staff members at businesses and spaces of work across any sector of business. I do want to highlight this. Bodo's Bagels is undoubtedly one of the top payer of staff in this community in the food and beverage, quick serve, fast casual, fast food, whatever you want to call it, spaces of food and beverage. Bodo's takes care of their team members. We know that. That's why people stay sticky at Bodo's. If you haven't heard, the UVA Corner location, their staff members are looking to unionize. I am concerned, or have my ears up, perked about this. I think Bodo's is going to be left with a couple of decisions to make. If the team members unionize and they use collective bargaining to get more compensation, are we then going to raise the menu prices to cover that additional overhead? And do we pass that additional cost and overhead to our clients and to our customers? The owners of Bodo's will also have to ask themselves this. If we raise menu prices too much, what will that do for our market share and our bottom line? Folks are only going to pay so much for a cream cheese bagel or a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. So this is a slippery slope. And my fear is it's going to impact the mom and pops, the local businesses that we love the most. The big brands, the big box brands, the corporately owned brands, they have the cash positions and the economies of scale to cover overhead associated with unionization. The mom and pops do not. And what I would hate to see is mom and pops choose to close locations, close businesses, and fold their dreams of small business ownership because employee overhead becomes too great to cover. The mom and pops, the small business owners in our community, are feeling pain points and dying the death of 1,000 cuts. Cost of goods, fuel, labor, supply chain, rental rates tied to CPI. Everywhere you look, the mom and pop is feeling pain right now. If this Bodo's UVA Corner unionization storyline gains momentum with other mom and pops in the community, and it very well could, my fear is you'll see a lot of businesses close because they won't have the revenue to meet the overhead. It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. All right, that's today's program. Sunday, May 15th, from 12 to 5 p.m., the 231 Fest. You can buy your tickets at castlehillcider.com/231. Family fun, live music, food trucks, all to benefit the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank. 231 Fest. Folks, it's going to be a special time. For Judah Wickhauer, I'm Jerry Miller, and it's the I Love CVille show. Take care.